Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1574. Today, we are doing TR Thursday, the Rules Handbook by Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider, the mavens of dating, the dating world. They are the geniuses that came up with the writing down of the rules. Now, today's topic is going to be don't betray your marriage. And it's going to be about how we keep track of things in a journal. We journal things. If we're upset about somebody not knowing what we're upset about, we journal it and then we go and we talk about it maybe. It depends on what it is. Okay, so week 9 in the rules handbook is, and I want to make sure you smile today. Your Rules Weekly pep talk is, have you ever been hurt or betrayed? It doesn't feel good and can destroy loving and long-lasting relationships. If you want to be happily married, try to remember that you are your husband's wife before you are a mother, a daughter, a sister, a friend, a coworker, or head honcho of XYZ company. Your time and devotion should be to your husband first. That's what the authors say. When you grasp this concept, your relationship with your partner will fall into place. Without healthy and loving actions and intentions between husband and wife, there is no caring and stable family. So follow the rules for marriage and nurture your marriage first. Never betray your marriage by choosing someone else over him, talking behind his back, or making him look bad in front of others. This week, focus on aligning your allegiance and identity with your husband first and let everyone and everything else follow. It's actually a kind of verbal abuse if you make your husband look bad in front of other people. It's very abusive. People used to do that without thinking, but now we are more aware. I think the world is better now than it used to be. Don't betray your marriage daily rules. Day 323, mind your own business. Some people are convinced they must tell their spouse, friend, or family member that they have a problem. If I notice something about someone, that they're drinking or eating too much or isolating, I feel obligated to say something, whether or not they ask. What kind of person ignores a problem? While this sounds good in theory, it rarely changes their behavior. People change when they are in enough pain or are motivated to do so, not because someone points it out. A mother was concerned about her 25-year-old son's weight. We told her to stay out of it. He fell in love with a girl, got a trainer, and lost the weight on his own. On the down low, if you have a best friend, older sister, or mother who is overly influential in your life, try not to mention her name too much to your husband. You don't want him thinking that you and your friend or relative are running your life and he's just a stuffed shirt or cardboard figure. Your husband could feel emasculated if he thinks Lucy and Ethel are deciding on whether you should use a nanny or daycare or where to go on vacation. He wants to think that you are a team and it's you and him against the world. If you mention her name too often, he may get the feeling that you're really married to her, not him. Don't forget to be nice to your husband. Are you nice to everyone but your husband? We know many women who are wonderful mothers, daughters, friends, workers, bosses, and clients, but are not so nice and even downright rude to their husbands. How can you be a lovely person with everyone in your life, but not with your husband? Because it's easy to be polite to people you don't live with. Your husband can be a lot of work or bossy. All he talks about is food. What's for dinner? Or aluminum siding. Yawn. Or being intimate. Again? Or saving money. No more stilettos. Your lower self might say, what about my needs? But what you don't realize is meeting his needs inspires him to meet your needs in return. You may have also thought, yippee, I did the rules, I got him, and now I can relax. You actually still need to take actions to nurture your relationship with him and his needs. When you show you care about him by being a good listener, sticking to a budget, preparing meals, and being intimate, you will have a happier marriage. The Rules for Marriage is a thick book. I mean, it's not incredibly thick, but look, it's not insignificant either. So you've got to take care of yourself and ooh, you've got to take care of yourself and you have to do the rules for marriage. They're a lot easier than the original rules for single women, but they're still there. So keep in mind that he has to catch you in motion. You have to have a busy life. You have to put on lipstick and wear skirts once in a while. Um, make it so that he wants to chase you around the kitchen counter. First or last, are you putting your friends, oh, excuse me, are you putting your work, friends, parents, money, social status, or social media fantasies about what your husband or marriage should be like, your feelings, or all of the above before your husband? Is your husband first in your life, somewhere in the middle, or last? Do you even think about him that much anymore? You have so much going on. You have plenty of time and energy for your friends, your kids, the gym, and hobbies, but are bored and tired when your husband wants something. You find him annoying. He leaves shaving cream on the counter or underwear on the floor. You fantasize about a pristine house with him not in it. Stop these lower self thoughts, or you'll be single in a perfectly clean house. Honoring your husband is higher self. That means that you consider him in your life, in your mind, and uh, stop acting single, it says. So, okay, next one. Stop acting single. You're married, but consult everyone else, your therapist, sister, friends, decorator, trainer, stylist, and psychic for advice before him or instead of him. You order furniture based on your decorator. You decide about your health or finances based on your astrologer instead of discussing it with your husband. No wonder he feels left out. Don't think, I put myself through college. I don't have to ask his permission about how to spend money. This is your lower self talking. You took vows. You have to be respectful. Higher self. Ask his advice and his permission, even if it's about having a girls' night out or ordering drapes. If you keep acting single, you will be single. Don't badmouth your partner. When did women become so sarcastic and not soft and loving? Many women talk and act like badasses as if they have a cigar in their mouths. It's fine for work, but terrible for marriage. They love to be cynical and clever at their husband's expense. They're like female stand up comedians. Women love to bash their husbands and gravitate to other women who do the same. Misery loves company. Don't be the partner who talks badly about her husband. It's not charming and it reflects poorly on you, lower self. Your friends and relatives might permanently remember these criticisms and think less of your husband. Higher self finds the good in everyone, especially in your husband. A mansion without a man. A married client got the renovation bug and put her dream home before her husband. She was so busy breaking down walls and picking out kitchen countertops that she was too busy to cook and keep their home running smoothly. Her husband said they couldn't afford it, but she wouldn't stop. He filed for a separation. At first, she was shocked. How could an innocent home renovation create so much havoc? But we explained that she completely bulldozed him. We told her to apologize and tell him she would rather live in a cardboard box with him than a mansion without him. She stopped renovating and spending. He came back. That's a good one. So apply the rules to achieve your higher self. Number one, when a family member or friend suggests an idea that your husband is against, side with your husband, even if it means disappointing or even losing that friend. That's that's interesting because people don't think of that. People think it's hard to lose a friend and they take their husband and marriage for granted. But these authors are saying make sure you realize that you're married and that even losing a friend is better than making your marriage suffer. So that's a good thing to remember. It's when you when you are eating dinner with your husband and he wants to talk, get off your phone. Be respectful and just be with him. There was one time I was in a subway. Uh, I've told you this example before. There was a couple dating and they were sitting at the table, and the girl, she was on her phone, like, yeah, yeah, and you, oh, yeah. And she was enjoying her conversation like this without looking at him. And he was sitting there like that. So you don't want that to happen, especially in your marriage. Even if you don't think your husband has all the answers, ask him for advice and include him in decisions as you do your therapist or girlfriends. So you're not two ships passing in the night. Now, that is so important to people because it even makes people live longer. I had a family. I had a set of relatives who were shopping in Texas. It's all kind of, anyway, they would ask the eldest man who had a little bit of Parkinson's, what color would you think is good? Would you like this one or would you like this one? What about that? And what about this? They involved him in the decisions and he felt wanted. He felt included and he felt he had a purpose of living in the world. So remember that this is something you do for your husband as well as he does for you. Uh, uh, Even if you don't think your husband has all the answers, ask him for advice and include him in decisions as you do your therapist or girlfriends so you're not two ships passing in the night. That's a very heavy um, analogy because that's a very heavy analogy. It really is. So I want to go into how it says the same thing in the rules for marriage. In the rules for marriage, the part that says, oh, oh, goodness gracious. Don't think marriage counseling is the answer. Okay, divorce with dignity, realize that. Okay, rule number 39 on page 159. Um, don't think marriage counseling is the answer. Page 159, 151, 153. Sorry. 155. Don't think marriage counseling is the answer. Rule number 39. Some unhappily married women think that marriage counseling is a magic pill that will make their husbands more attentive or more ambitious, stop their cheating or gambling or drinking or being verbally abusive or whatever it is that they're upset about. We hate to burst their bubble, but marriage counseling will not work unless it's his idea to go. And even then, it is no panacea. I recall having a couples counseling session, and it was interesting because at the time, um, we got into an argument right when we were about to go to our appointment, and I didn't go. But later on, the marriage counselor said, if you had gone to the session, that would have been perfect timing to resolve your argument, and you would have had an answer. So there are ways to use it if you have to. But I believe it was a joint idea because I don't recall wanting to do it. Um, I think it was somebody else that brought it up, and then I brought it up. But it was pretty much his idea to go. He wanted to go. He didn't initiate it though. So this is saying that he needs to be the one who thinks of it. When a man wants to see a marriage counselor with you, it means he's committed to the relationship. When it's only your idea, you really want to go to fix things, he may or may not be committed. He may already have a girlfriend, so we found it is not as effective. If you are the one to suggest it, he will either be vehemently against it and refuse to go at all, or he will say okay but find excuses not to go. Late client meeting, son's little league game, traffic, whatever. We know many women who have been stood up at the therapist's offices, where he may show up but be so angry about going that you're sorry you ever suggested it. Rather than help solve your problems, therapy will become yet another bone of contention. So here is our advice. Do not suggest marriage counseling. If he does not think of it himself and see it as a possible solution, it won't work anyway. It's very, very, very astute. These couples counseling. I mean, this philosophy, the rules of philosophy, it is so key because we are so biologically attuned to having the man initiate. Now you might be thinking, as we all have, why? Why is it all up to him? The answer is that unfortunately you can't make a man do things your way. For most men, talking things over with a counselor is not the way they want to solve problems, assuming they will even acknowledge that there is a problem. Most men don't even think there's a problem. I remember reading that statistics show that marriage benefits men and makes men live longer. And it does not necessarily have the same effect on women. So marriage is good for men, is the conclusion of that answer. But when men are married, sometimes they just think everything's fine. And meanwhile, the woman is steaming about something every single night, like, oh, he never puts his dishes in the sink after eating, you know, and she just simmers and doesn't say anything, and he doesn't think there's a problem. So there is a problem sometimes, and you have to make sure that you deal with it in a rulesy way. Honey, I love it when you bring it to the sink. But even if your husband is all for it, we are not convinced that marriage counseling is the answer. Sometimes it can add fuel to the fire. We've spoken to women who have attended marriage counseling with their husbands. Excuse me. We've spoken to women who have attended marriage counseling with their husbands and tell us that all they did for the full hour was talk about what the other was doing wrong. They left the session angrier than when they came in. They wouldn't speak to each other in the car on the way home and sometimes for days afterward. Janice threatened divorce so many times that her husband Bill decided to go to marriage counseling. She complained that he was not helping her with their 3 kids and was always coming home late and missing family dinners. He forgot their 10th wedding anniversary, and she even suspected he might be having an affair with his secretary. They hadn't had sex in 3 months. Bill complained that his wife was always too tired to have sex. Janice shot back that she was too tired to have sex because he got home at 10 p.m. and never helped her around the house or with their children. Bill said he didn't have the time or energy to help with homework, was not cheating, and didn't think 10 p.m. was too late to have sex. They just repeated themselves for the whole hour. The marriage counselor encouraged the couple to vent their angry feelings, but also to remember why they married each other. We gave Janice more practical advice. We told her to quit marriage counseling, spend the money on babysitters and cleaning help, stop accusing him of cheating if she didn't have concrete evidence, and take naps during the day so she could have sex with her husband at night. We told her to stop demanding that Bill come home earlier and help her, to stop calling him at the office 5 times a day, and to try backing off a bit. They have stopped arguing ever since she made these changes. If you are unhappy, we suggest that rather than going to marriage counseling, you go to a therapist by yourself or find a support group of married women where you can share your feelings and be understood. It is not always necessary or even productive to drag your husband through the therapeutic process. You might find that some of your anger has nothing to do with your husband or your marriage, but with you, your childhood, your feelings, or career frustrations. You may discover that your husband does not have to change for you to feel better about yourself. So, think twice before you call a marriage counselor and try to make your husband tag along. See what changes you can make in yourself first. This is very important because this way you know that you're in the right gear. And I want to say that I'm really glad you guys came today. I want to say hello to everybody that comes. This is where the button would be. The red button. I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, I want to bring up pieces of morsels of a thought of wisdom. Wisdom is knowing the right thing to do, and actually doing it is called virtue. So when we do these things according to the rules and the rules for marriage, we are committing virtue in the world. As wives, I'm not married, but as women with partners, we we bring something to the world if we get the team to work together. That's what I think. So anyway, I have had hand surgery. This is the reason I'm wearing one glove. I had hand surgery and I just don't want to show you all the Frankensteinian scars there. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay? Old Kinderheck. Bye bye.